Hey everybody, I'm back again with video number 3 on this debate, vegan debate with Tristan Tate and Joey Carbstrong. This was an interesting, different kind of debate, mostly because of the character of Tristan and his approach. How do you like my setup? I had this setup idea because Tristan's camera was so far away from him. So this makes it more balanced. You can see him much better. We'll be able to see the emptiness in his eyes, maybe even see into his soul. Especially with these clips. And there's something that I want to bring up because nobody else is bringing this up. I think you may want to know because it is interesting. That is, Tristan Tate, right over there, was arrested a few months ago on major charges. He was arrested along with his brother, Andrew Tate. They were both arrested having to do with their business, which you also probably don't know. That's how they became rich. Their business has to do with the internet, social media. They were in on the ground floor when the industry of camming, SE, bunch of hot girls, they recruit. I don't criticize them for that, but it depends on how they recruit and exactly what goes on. And that was what the arrest was about. So apparently they're still doing that business, and it's been like 6 years or more they've been doing that. One more thing, Tristan once dated one of those models, what he calls one of his girlfriends. And back in February, which is a few weeks after the arrest, she ended her life. I guess it's not known why. So we just have to let that hang there and wonder. Joey Carbstrong didn't have to win this debate. He just had to let Tristan lose. And he did bigly. And I've got about 8 very small clips that show you just how he lost. The particular video I'm watching is a reaction video. So sometimes you're going to hear 2 other voices of the people who are reacting. Those people are Lifting Vegan Logic and Ruckster. A lot of these clips you may not have heard, less likely to have heard, because they happen near the end of the debate. Okay, here's the first clip. Watch how he handles, not answers. No, he doesn't do that. Right, and there's going to be more of that. But watch how he handles Joey's question.
Protein in that, but you eat KFC for pleasure, don't you?
I do.
You choose KFC for pleasure.
Absolutely. So if I could,
how is eating KFC for pleasure different to?
Notice he didn't want to let him continue on with his scenario that would lead up to a question he doesn't want to answer. Keeps wanting to cut him off.
These animals, it gave me sensory pleasure. I really liked them squealing or whatever. You really like the taste of KFC, and these animals are suffering in horrible factory farms in order to bring you that KFC. How is what you're doing any different to what I'm doing?
Let me restructure your question. If I could push a button and stop it, and by stopping it, it means you just take a big butcher's knife and then I would push that button, because why would I want anything to be tortured? I don't see the point in it.
Yeah, you just change, also admittedly change the question. No.
It's like, let me rephrase your question to something else I'm more comfortable with answering.
Yeah.
It's like he's asking you if you're doing that for pleasure and he's doing that for pleasure, what's the difference?
We're talking about the outcome. Tate seemed to want to stay in his own mind in what he is thinking instead of what the outcome is for others.
Everyone knows what a human is, but I would say a human is made in the image of God. That's what I would say. And a pig is not made in the image of God. It certainly is not made in the image of God. Neither is a cow. In fact, cows and pigs are made in the image of what humans made them into.
First part there was irrelevant. That last part there was also irrelevant. Image does not matter here. And now I'm thinking, when he said, why would I want that? The abuse. I'm now thinking he doesn't mean why would I want that for the animal. He's probably thinking why would I want that for myself to do that. It's all about him. There's a word for that. There was a comment I saw about this video I want to read. The arguments Tristan put forth conflicted with each other on like 6 levels. Yes, I noticed that. He says, I don't care, but then proceeds to care only in certain situations. Yeah. Situations that directly contradict his human superiority religious viewpoint. Speciesism, which is a lot like race. I don't want to say the word. And that's interesting because, as I found out, he's part black. Just something to point out. Okay, here is clip number 2.
You raise the cow for leather.
So it's fun to kill it's fun to kill
for leather, yes.
Black cows for their skin.
100%.
And in India, where they trek them across like long trek.
See what Joey? It looks like Joey is just setting up Tristan to say more psycho things.
And they're suffering, and then they export that leather. It's fine to buy that leather. Just animals suffering like really horrible lives just for leather. Yeah.
Yes.
And when calves are skinned.
I would say something like, listen, so first you said for food, now you're saying for leather. I caught a little bit of a contradiction there. So you're changing your position to now include clothing or leather. Why? Figure out what the reason is.
I'm not trying to do a gotcha or anything, but this is actually just a bit different.
Because I said food, if you're going to eat them.
You said it's fine to be cruel, as cruel as you basically want, so long as you're getting food from these animals, right? And people, I'm not.
See that he said it's okay to be as cruel as you want, as long as you're getting food. That's like such a crazy position.
He said he had a preference against that earlier.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, there is some clear contradictions here.
Yeah.
I just noticed that Tate is doing a lot of breathing in his cigar and breathing out. You can hear him breathing it out, and there's a lot of smoke in the air. Oh, which you can't see when I'm zoomed in. Through a lot of this debate, Tristan had the argument that the reason it's not okay to abuse humans is because, correct me if I'm wrong, because God made humans in God's image. Doesn't seem important to this debate.
Gelatin, bone marrow, skin, leather. I'm down with it.
Anything we want.
He's down with a lot of things. That might be why he got arrested.
I could have an animal right here. Say the cows are highly sentient beings like dogs.
Yeah.
They care for their young. They experience all the basic experiences we do as human beings. Right. We might have some intelligence over cows, but most basic experiences.
I have a lot.
No, we might.
Not only does he make the point that humans are more intelligent than animals, which is a superiority thing. You're deciding what to judge, and you're deciding what type of intelligence is important for your measurement because it's the one you have. And right here, he seems to be wanting to highlight his own specific intelligence, like he's trying to get people to think he is smart. Which is, I guess, ironic because all these talking points have nothing to do with what this debate is and Joey's questions.
We might have some intelligence.
I have a lot. I have a lot.
No, we might. Well, there are human beings that. Well, how about this? There are human beings that have about the sentience of a cow and about the experience of a cow, and they're born.
Here's Joey's bringing up a good point, and this debate tactic, us vegans are all familiar with this. It really ruins what Tristan is saying here. And so how's Tristan going to get out of this? Check this out.
Beings that have about the sentience of a cow and about the experience of a cow, and they're born like that. We protect them with human rights.
Made in the image of God.
Okay, yeah.
You win. An arrogant fool.
Okay.
Now we're back to.
This is why I was hearing the blowing out of the smoke so much. Look. He leaned into the microphone to blow out the smoke into the microphone.
and make shoes out of them.
Yeah, I mean, you know, I have a distinction between animal life and human life, and we've been over this 100 times.
He's not answering. Back to NTT, and he said, like, no image of God, though, whatever. And he just says, you know, I have a distinction. It's like, yeah, I know. I just fucking took it out of the equation to see if you're consistent. I don't think he tracks that. Like, I don't think he can even conceive of, like, this
Like
concept.
that's or something.
Yeah.
Experience, and we're basically hominids, you know, and these people existed on this farm. It's fine for me to torture them because they're not made in the image of God.
If you can't distinguish between human life and animal life, then
That part was just asinine. He's making an ass out of himself, so he loses the debate. But you know what? He probably doesn't care. Frank lost both of his debates. I don't think that hurt him a bit, because that's how social media is. And the Tate brothers, they know social media. Okay, here's a bizarre spiel from the guy here. Awaiting trial.
I have kids. My daughter is maybe not as smart as
I have kids. Right, I read that he has said he has kids. We don't know how many, and I don't think he's married either. But here he talks about his daughter. Check this out.
my daughter is maybe not as smart as a dog. She's only 2. Do I think you should be able to make shoes out of my daughter? Is that what you're saying? Because I don't think
Not your daughter. I'm creating a hypothetical.
Well, no.
Yeah, see, I don't know why he's bringing up his daughter. The hypothetical is about a very specific set of humans that obviously his daughter is not of. So
Yeah.
Oh, no. Well, we're not hypotheticals because we live in the real world, don't we?
there you go. There it is.
We're not hypotheticals. That's kind of
Yeah,
funny.
that's a new way of.
So he's trying to get out of any hypothetical scenario that's brought up by his opponent by saying, well, that's not happening. That can't happen.
I've given lots of hypotheticals, but I don't like to go down the hypothetical route. I said if I could kill animals without torturing them and without being cruel, and it would be ideal.
You can. Furthermore, you can live without killing animals. At least a lot less than he does.
Too, but we live in the real world. We live in the world of supply and demand. We live in the world where third world people are trying to make the best living they can by raising animals as fast as they can in as big numbers as we can.
Crap argument. Third world. Jeez. But he says they wouldn't be raising animals if it wasn't for supply and demand. Well, who's demanding? It's the public like him who chooses to eat abused animals. Is that an argument?
I believe it's fine.
You don't eat animals for third world people, that's for sure. You eat animals because
Assessments, right?